Hello. My name is Kevin Owasu Itoe. Good evening. This is a Sunday evening, and I am coming to answer a few questions. Right now, we are going back into teaching yourself test automation. Right, so we are back to questions around test automation. I'm answering a few questions, helping answer questions out there that I'm coming across because I am at a position now where I can actually answer those questions because I've been on a journey myself, right? So the clue was in Teach Yourself Test Automation. That my website is teachyourselftestautomation.com, and I also have a YouTube channel, and you're probably watching this video right now on the YouTube channel. So thanks for coming across me. If you are searching information on how you go about learning Selenium on your own, you've come to the right place because I'm doing that by myself just now. So how do you start learning Selenium on your own? Well, to learn Selenium, you need to learn Selenium with a programming language, right? I've chosen Java, right? You don't need to choose Java. You could choose Python. You could choose Ruby. Python is actually very sought after right now, right? Out there in the job market as the programming language of choice, right? More than Java, and you also have Ruby, as I said, C#, right? So those programming languages are compatible with Selenium, right? So once you've chosen your programming language, then you want to learn the concepts of that programming language, right? So if you've chosen, say, me, I'm doing Selenium WebDriver with Java, right? So with Java, you want to learn the basic concepts, the OOPS concepts, right? And you want to learn things like class, objects, loops. So if loops, while loops, conditional statements, right? So you want to learn the basic programming concepts around the programming language you've just chosen, right? To give yourself that understanding, right? The concepts around the programming language. And then you want to look into Selenium itself, right? So with Selenium, you have Selenium IDE, right? So that's just a record and play tool, but is getting updated right now. So there must be an update out there on the IDE, right? And then you have Selenium WebDriver with Java, right? So that's what I'm using to teach myself test automation, right? So I'm doing test automation using Selenium WebDriver with Java. I suggest you just dive straight into that, right? After learning because most people go with the alternative to learn a programming language first, and then choose a tool. In this case, you've chosen Selenium because you want to know how to use Selenium on your own, and then now it's selecting Selenium WebDriver, right? So WebDriver is just a programming interface, right? And it interacts with the user actions on the page, right? Using Selenium and your programming language. So WebDriver is your interface you're going to use to interact with the elements on the page, right? And of course, you have Selenium knowledge backed up with your jar files, right? So that's it. And after that, you just want to run through a syllabus on Selenium, right? And scripting a functional flow. So because Selenium is about web applications, right? Automating web applications, right? That's what it's mainly used for. So you want to run now through a functional flow, so automated scripting functional flows, right? So and run through a syllabus on locators, right? How to use locators to identify elements on a page and interact with elements on the page, and you want to go deep after that, right? And once you've learned how to script using Selenium WebDriver with Java or with Python, or with, as I say, Python is very sought after out there just now, or Ruby, then you want to go, after you're comfortable with that, you remember it's practice, go through the syllabus, right? Find some free courses out there, or paid courses that will give you a structure on how to run through learning Selenium, right? And once you've done that, you probably want to look into, because you have to practice on all those various topics, right? And creating single automated test cases, right? And now when you have a bunch of those single automated test cases, you want to think about learning a framework. Again, you could use Selenium for your framework, right? So automating test framework with Selenium, right? So look into designing a framework from scratch using Selenium, right? And then after that, you probably want to think about looking into a grid, so a Selenium grid as well. So it's all about Selenium, right? Selenium grid, a grid, and that grid helps you to run, to do cross-browser testing, right? So you form a grid, and then you can fire out your test cases on that grid into different browsers and all that, right? So this is just a roundup. I am teaching myself Selenium on my own, and what I am doing. I could tell you what I'm doing as well. Maybe that will help, because I'm speaking now from experience, right? As I say, I'm using Selenium WebDriver with Java. I went the other way, right? I'm learning the tool, right? I'm learning the automated tool, which is Selenium Web, and then I'm using Selenium WebDriver, which is the automated tool, and I'm using Java as a programming language, right? But I have no prior coding knowledge with Java, right? But I'm managing all right. So you can go onto my my blog, right? And you can find out for yourself. I'm managing all right. I've been able to go through all the concepts fine without needing any programming language. But I'm beginning to find that because I'm going into, I've taught myself going through scripting, automated scripting or through the web application, right? So, and I'm teaching myself now how to start a framework from scratch. So I've run through the whole syllabus on scripting, and now I'm teaching myself how to create an automated test framework from scratch, right? And I'm finding out now. Well, I found out before now, but you need to know the basics of your programming language. So in my case, Java, I will need to learn Java to get an in-depth understanding on how to optimize my test cases, right? So your framework brings together your test cases and runs your test cases in batch, right? So hundreds, thousands of test cases run at once in a business scenario, right? So you need to know how to optimize your code, right? Just your automation code, so you don't have duplication of code. That's one thing. You don't need duplication of code. And for best practice, right? You need to know a programming language. And and I say, for me, I am at the point of teaching myself framework just now. I've taught myself Selenium WebDriver with Java. If you ask me, do I know Selenium? I will say yes. Scripting of Selenium, functional flow of scripting, automation scripting using Selenium WebDriver with Java. And now I'm teaching myself how to use the framework. And after that, I'll teach myself Selenium Grid, right? And after that, I'll go on to teach myself automation using APIs, right? And then after that, I'll go on to teach myself automation through the web. Not the web, sorry, through mobile, so Appium, right? So that's my journey, and as I've told you, my blog is dedicated to teaching myself, and I'm sharing that knowledge, right? And I'm getting feedback on my progress, right? And that's how you learn. Well, that's how I'm learning, and I'm sharing that. I'm motivating others, right? I'm not just motivating test analysts. I am motivating all those who want to learn, right? And I am an advocate of educating yourself, learning, continuous learning, because as we know, things are changing, the world is moving on, technology has been developed at a very fast pace, right? And that's disrupting not only the IT industry, but all the other industries out there, right? The medical industry, the financial industry, and I could go on, right? All those lives are changing, are creating complex problems that we need to be able to solve, right? So we need to be constantly learning, changing our skill sets. If you follow my journey, then you know I am an advocate on this, right? So always upskill yourself. This goes to everyone, right? Nurses, carpenters, builders, because materials are changing out there with technology, and we need to relearn and make ourselves relevant with our skill sets. Yeah. So that's a long-winded answer, but I'm on that journey as well. You've come to the right place, because I am learning Selenium on my own, and I'm using Java. Okay? Now, I'm gonna go. My name is Kevin Owasu Itoe. I hope I've added some value to the question asked. And speak to you later. Stay blessed. And Kevin Owasu Itoe signing